Really powerful, you know?
Oh, wait. Hang on. Where are things going? Because I remember when a certain bottom lane played Senna Lee Sin.
I think it's Senna Lee bot.
Sick.
I think it's going to be Senna Lee bot, Lilia jungle, Aatrox top.
I mean, Lilia has to be in the jungle, right? Aatrox probably has to be top lane. This is likely where it's going to be.
What I think. And I think Parent, because the thing is, you're not the same damage center, but if you have a bruiser like Lee...
works. A lot of ways to set up the Yasuo as well, which aren't necessarily usual. Let's jump into the Rift for game number 2.
And... Oh no, Def.
Oh dear. Deft already going to get queued here by Carrier, as Beryl doing his very best to try and keep him safe, and is going to be able to do so. Tornado going to connect, though, and now BDD is coming in. Another Q going to land here from Carrier, looking for first blood, and he's going to boop him back, but the flash forward's going to be there. That's going to be first blood, going over to Lee Sin, but Carrier might pay for it. Deft is now in an awkward position. He's going to flash. BDD gets a kill, but so does Faker. Pyoshik's going to turn up. One after the other, they head towards the enemy jungle. That flash was sick from Pyoshik, and now Ona might find himself in a rough position, but it's 2-2, guys. Let's back off. Never mind. Gumayushi is now going to find BDD, also face-checking a brush, as BDD is just going to walk it off. He's like, no, we're finished here. And Guma is going to say, no, we're not, as Beryl is back. And he's Hex flashing, and he's going to crash onto Gumayushi, who's now found himself a little bit too far forward. Does get the Piercing Darkness, though, and Ona spinning around a whole bunch, then takes a bunch of damage back. Over to you, Orcs. This is ridiculous. Oh, okay, just 7? Really?
Yeah, you know, honestly,
I guess it's only game 2.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Carrier's using Ona's skin, the new T1 skin.
Yeah, because he hasn't played it since it was released, right?
Yeah, so...
Wow. That is kind of rude. Hopefully Ona is going to be okay with it. Is finally he's going to flash so that we get the clean 8 towards this Ziggs. But Faker's in trouble. Great interruption on the crash down, but the Ignite still comes in. BDD chasing him down, flapping over. Another Q would do it, but he doesn't overextend. I think if BDD had taken another step forward, he was just dead.
Yeah, very danger close there. Got to respect the threat of T1, who will move up to cover Faker. And he will survive on that one.
Okay. Already there. And it's only 5.5 minutes. As Faker is going in with 300 health, and he's just dead. BDD going to be able to grab that kill as Beryl and Pyoshik right there ready to challenge.
Yeah, I think maybe a bit more faith in the center than maybe was warranted.
Stacks in this game.
Yep, definitely. And faster stacking, faster spikes. We do now see finally the Renekton Sejuani pairing, looking to punish Zeus.
Oh, there's the flash forward from Perfect. Zeus is going to get tagged, and the Winter's Wrath will be enough. The dive was beautiful there from KT.
Just the immediate flash done. Stacks the passive, gets the damage. Oh, BDD.
Yep. Flapping around in circles here is BDD right now as the Shattering Strike does come in. Faker is going to ignore it, basically. And that is going to be Dragon secured by T1. Oh, I actually thought that he invested the ult, but it was just a permafrost. It's crazy.
Yep. There
we go. As Beryl now looking for an opportunity, could crash over this wall, and there it is! Crash down does come on through there as well, as Zeus does get over here. Gumayushi, let's see whether he can keep them alive. 3 versus 2 right now. A lot of things on cooldown here on KT's side, but it is another pick-off for them.
In this game, but he really benefited from having this winning top laner in that one for the center to sustain up with, and now you don't have that. Perfect moving around. He is so strong in these early grub fights.
Yep, teleport is going to come in here as Perfect getting in. There is the crash down from Beryl. Mega Inferno Bomb right on top of Ona as the grubs are being taken down in the meantime. Carrier dashing into the backline. Perfect surviving for so long, but will eventually be taken down, and the damage is kind of missing here from KT, but these health bars going lower when the bouncing bombs do land. Gumayushi taking a lot of damage, but he is going to still get the ult off. The Dawning Shadow layered across. Deft is going to sacrifice himself to get the kill onto the center, but the team fight is won pretty wholeheartedly here by T1.
Such a scrappy fight, but T1, that's where their composition flourishes. KT try and go for the big engage, but we don't see the value coming out, and yeah.
Like a few years ago, this is something that they've always sort of had in their back pocket, as Ona is going to be starting off this Drake once again. Exactly the same dragons as we had in game 1, quizzical, you could say. Wow. See whether it's another Hextech Soul. I imagine this one's going to be a Chemtech just to give us some of that balance. But if it's a Chemtech Soul and there's a center on the Rift, do not let that be a thing, as it's going to be an Ocean.
KT.
Yeah, it looks like they are just going to be able to leverage their little bit of tempo that they were able to build up for themselves. Hextech Minefield goes down there from Deft just to stop Gumayushi from being able to get in. as the snare is going to land onto Perfect. He could still be a target here. Does hold onto the slice in order to get away from Keria, as there is the Rift Herald picked up by KT. Now they're looking for an escape. Bowling Ball connects. Zeus just going to head towards the mid lane, shove this one out, see whether T1 can catch them on the rotation. Looks like it's just going to be a blue buff steal. That is really a thing. Hasn't been able to get around the map and take plates as well, as we saw. As you can see, all of these turrets looking pretty healthy on T1's side as well. We do get the Rift Herald charging in. T1 here for the defense. Not going to be a turret taken, just going to be a bit of damage here for KT. And I think slow and steady is what wins the race here. It's not really a roller coaster thing in general. Doesn't fit the KT playstyle, but I think if they slow it down, it's going to look better and better as this game goes on.
The bit of the
snout of Bristle that did sort of smell that ball as it was flowing by, as this dragon has now been started. And KT, will they actually commit to any sort of play? Keria going to get spotted out as the tower is going to be taken, and KT just giving this one up, saying instead, we're just going to try and take your stuff. And with a Ziggs, it kind of makes some sense. Satchel can go down, doesn't even need it, and KT get 2 turrets in trade for a single Ocean Drake.
And they might even
wait, two turrets, I said. I said 2 turrets. By Jove. Never mind, that's 3. That is going to be Faker now trying to trade it back for an outer turret towards the bottom side of the map, but I don't know whether that one's going to be worth it as KT slink into the enemy jungle. I think that was a pretty good trade. Committing, it's still going to be a loss in a lot of these scenarios. As you can see, Zeus looking for these flank angles. And Keria on the other side for the pincer is going to get caught out here by Perfect, who does dash his way out. A long way away from any sort of turret right now. You can see Keria also now moving away. Beryl looking for that flank as Zeus gets on top of his ward once again. The snare going to get picked up by Beryl here as Ona moves over. It's going to be a 50-50, but a take about the smolder somehow. Keria steps on 2 balloons and gets down to half health.
Yep, and KT's super happy with that. They denied the soul, and they just bought more time. You know, the concern about the Elder, the flip that it could end up meaning a game lose even with a smolder on your team. They don't have to worry about that for another 5 minutes. So good moves there from KT. Good secure. Oh, TP flank coming in. This is from Keria.
Yeah, this is very aggressive. But Gumiushi's just going to get dove on top of Dev. Takes him down with a Mega Inferno Bomb. And Keria now just not able to find those angles, because without the center, what is this comp actually capable of? As now it's Perfect teleporting in. Zeus going to get thrown around like a ragdoll. These executes starting to fly in as he looks to be a hero, but he's burnt to death by BDD. The kick, it's going to connect, and Keria takes down his ex-teammate, but at what cost? As Faker is at full health, he puts up the wind wall, but 1 versus 4. I just don't think it's going to be enough. The last breath comes down, but it is exactly that. He'll take Pyoshik with him, but KT win the fight. And they sometimes just do that, because like you say, I mean, they have all of the time in the universe in this game. I mean, they're praying for a 70-minuter, as they're not going to get one, as that is going to be a kick out onto Beryl. Mum comes down. Ona is going to absorb a lot of buttons by just pressing Zhonya as he puts the Crocodile to sleep. Is now Perfect. He could be in trouble, but it's another crash down. Death takes down Ona, and BDD is untouched in this backline. Faker goes in, but the Dragon is mauling them. Death satchels his way out. That's the Crocodile locking down a kill, and now it's BDD flapping forward, and he can feel the wind in his wings, and Zeus is just gonna go down. It's a triple kill for the little Dragon. He is legendary. And I don't even think he needs his mom anymore.
He's just untouchable. You know, it felt like the whole fight, BDD was the only person on KT who's never really threatened. He finally sees a window to go in, and he decimates T1. He is more than online at this point. He is taking over the game, and now they might end, actually. It's a Ziggs.
Yeah, Ona is up in 4 seconds time, but like you were saying, there are satchels aplenty here for this Ziggs, as Death has already gone to work on that first turret. The Nexus is all but dead as it is exposed. The Mega Inferno Bomb just for good measure, and KT even out the series. And the way BDD played it as well, because you saw it in that last fight, I was half expecting BDD just to go in, right? But he was staying on the flanks, waiting for the individual buttons, and as soon as, I think it was Faker's last breath, was the final one to come on through, and then BDD's flapping forward, killing every...